Hello, my friends. My name is Emma, and welcome to our new to yoga class. If you haven't been on the mat in a while, or maybe you're brand new to yoga, this is perfect for you because I'm going to break down some of the basic asanas or yoga poses, and we're going to go through those really slowly, and then we'll connect them together in what we call a vinyasa flow at the end, and that's when we are connecting breath to movement and going from pose to pose in a sequence. So the first thing that I want you to know is that yoga is not about being perfect in a posture or a pose. It's about showing up and doing the best that you can for you in that moment. And you have to have the discernment to know whether it's time to push yourself or maybe to pull back a little bit. And only you can know that. And so you're doing yoga well when you are honoring the truest version of yourself and you're able to take a full and complete breath. Okay? So let's go ahead and get on the mat. If you have some blocks, go ahead and go and grab those. If you want to turn on some good music, feel free to click either the playlist in the comments section, hit pause, go ahead and do that, or turn on a playlist that might be fun for you, or just listen to the rhythm of your body and your heart today. So we're going to start with your basic meditation. I like to sit on a block or a bolster. You're just going to go ahead and put this under your seat. And then if you wiggle your sit bones to the edge of the block or the bolster, it's going to automatically put your spine in alignment. So you're not fighting back and forth to get that nice tall spine. And when we are in a tall spine, we can take a full and deep breath, a complete breath. So go ahead and lower your gaze or close your eyes, soften the shoulders, and we're just going to breathe. So close the mouth, follow the air in through the nose, feel the chest rise slightly, expand the low belly, and then let the air float back out. Sometimes when we're new to meditation or taking a complete deep breath, we can kind of force it like, and it becomes the opposite of relaxing. And so at first, just let yourself breathe in, deepening the breath every time, and then exhale. And if you want to exhale out parted lips with a slightly open mouth, that's fine. Or you can go in through the nose, out through the nose. We'll do 2 more. Letting the body relax, getting nice and long in the neck, shoulders relaxed, arms relaxed. Finding that neutral nervous system. Letting whatever was bothering you or on your mind today before stepping onto the mat to just be off the mat. Let it stay where it is. And you get to just focus on you. So the basics of meditation are trying to clear your mind and connect the breath. So it's normal for us to have thoughts come in and out. But when we focus on what's happening as we breathe, what's happening within the body, it allows us to tune inward. I bet you'll notice already you feel a little bit better just by doing that. Okay, so go ahead and come off the block. The first pose we're going to start with is called Tadasana, or mountain pose. So we're going to take a nice tall stance. We're going to come up to the top of our mat, which is the first top third of the mat if you were to measure the mat, and your feet are going to go directly under your hip bones. So it's about like a cantaloupe between your feet, or 6 inches. You're going to allow all 4 corners of your feet to connect down to the ground. You want to engage the kneecaps and pull them slightly up. Draw the tailbone down. Slightly engage your navel as you pull up towards your collarbone. Let the collarbone get nice and wide. Shoulder blades glide down the back. Palms face forward. Crown of head rises up. Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a deep breath in. Feel your feet connected to the earth. 1 more breath. From here, we're going to do a sun salutation or a sun salute. So palms are going to face forward as we raise them up. I like to look up to my fingertips. Let the fingertips touch and pull down the center line. Let's do 3 of those. So that's the first one. So we inhale as we rise up. Exhale as they pull down the center. Again, inhale up. And exhale as they come down. Every time I look up, I think, look up, be grateful, right? Okay, the next pose we're going to do is Uttanasana, which is forward fold. So inhale, palms facing up. We're going to do our sun salute. As we exhale, we're going to take a slight bend in our knees. And you can either bend with a flat back with the palms together, or I like to do what we call a swan dive. So arms are just going to come out, shoulder blades kiss, knees are slightly bent, and we come on down to forward fold. This is a great time to grab the blocks. And in forward fold, we're letting all the weight shift to the front part of the foot. The crown of the head is going to drape down towards the floor, and we keep that slight bend in the legs. And when you get a little deeper in the posture, you can move the blocks away. But if you're here today and this is your forward fold, that's great. You just do the best you can. You just do what's honoring to you in the moment. And then as you progress, you'll get a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper. And the goal is to let the head be really heavy. So sometimes I like to put my hands on the back of my neck just to feel that sensation. Or you can put hands on the legs, whatever feels good to you. And you can even play around with straightening one leg and then the other. Next, we're going to do Ardha Uttanasana, which is half lift. So using the blocks again, you want to straighten the legs. And you're going to raise to make like a 90-degree angle with the body. So the torso is going to rise up to be level or parallel with the ground. You can use the blocks for support here. Or if you don't want to use the blocks, what I cue in my classes is arms are going to come up and have that kiss between the shoulder blades. Pull the navel in. So we lead with the rise. Anytime we rise up, we're going to pull the navel in, controlling with our core, and you're going to have a lot more stability there. And so when you do your halfway lift, traditionally it looks like this, hands just above the knees. I like the arms out because it's going to show you what your shoulder blades should be doing and what your spine should be doing. Get nice and flat instead of this. It's not this. It's this. Making a nice table with your back. So this is traditional. This is what I cue beginners or here. Okay. So inhale, we rise to halfway lift. Exhale, we come back down to Uttanasana, forward fold. So let's move the blocks out of the way. We're going to place the hands on the ground. And we're going to take a step back to our plank. And plank, you want your hands to be directly under your shoulders. You can have your knees down on the ground. Whatever is totally fine as long as you eliminate the rounding of the spine. You find a nice flat back. So draw the shoulder blades down towards your hip bones. And you can hold plank here, or you can be up on your toes. And then we will lower ourselves down. So I'm going to show really quickly facing this way. So you can go onto your knees and take a look at me. This is the biggest cue that I love to teach because it'll make a massive difference. A lot of people quit yoga because they start to get pain in their wrists or their shoulders. It's because they're doing down dog and plank and lowering themselves down wrong. So we want to do this. This is the inclination, like the natural tendency is to have our arms like this. But when you spin the eye of the elbow forward, that's going to put your joints in perfect alignment. So you will have the weight of your body more proportional and supported on different parts of your joint. Instead of here, you can see that we are putting pressure here on the outside of the wrist, pressure on the elbow in a weird way, pressure on the shoulder in a weird way. And so when we lower down, like, I'll show the difference. If you were lowering down like this, that is a lot harder than when we spin the eye of the elbow and then we imagine the elbows are going to the back of the room. The arms are kissing the ribs as we lower ourselves down. That's going to be a lot safer. Okay, so we're back in our plank. Knees or toes, doesn't even matter. I'm going to go toes. Find a nice tall plank. Spin the eye of the elbow, lower ourselves down. And here we're going to set up for cobra. Or the Sanskrit word is Bhujanasana. They're all an asana at the end because that just means pose. So cobra, hands are directly under our shoulders. We're going to spread the fingers wide, index finger points forward. We want to draw the shoulder blades down to the tailbone, pull the belly button up, kind of like imagine that there's an ice cube under your belly button and you don't want to smush it and melt it everywhere. So pull the belly button up, elbows draw down towards your hip bones as you broaden the collarbone and come on up. Staring down the bridge of your nose. Let's try that again. So inhale, we come up. Contracting the low spine. Exhale, we come down. That's our cobra. Upward dog is going to be very similar. You bring your hands just slightly back towards your hips a little bit more. So palms are towards the hips. You're going to suck your kneecaps up off the floor, and then you straighten your arms as you rise up. Awesome. Now go ahead and lower down. And we're going to push back into our downward dog, which is Adho Mukha Savasana. So tuck the toes under. You have two choices. You can either go up in a plank and push back that way, or I'm going to go onto the knees. And when you're here in what we call a table, then you just raise the knees up, spin the eye of the elbow forward, rise up the sit bones to sky, and get a nice long line from the top of the head to the tailbone first before you straighten your legs and draw your heels down. So keep the nice bend in your knees first. I would rather you bend your knees and get a nice long spine, long torso, than have a bent rounded torso and straight legs. Okay, so we want to get a nice long body, upper body here. Sit bones skyward, ribs to thighs. One good breath. Inhale and exhale. So that's downward dog. Again, spin the eye of the elbow forward. That way you can raise your shoulder blades up, get a nice tall body. Good. Now let's walk our feet up towards our hands. We're going to find that Uttanasana, forward fold again. And this time we're going to sun salute, rise. So palms out and up, rise up, inhale up. Palms come to touch, come down the center line, landing here in a Tadasana with prayer hands. Or you can have the hands out. Just notice how you feel. Do you feel a little bit different already? That's what's cool about yoga. It helps you to change how you feel almost instantly. And guess what? Most of the time you feel better. All right, let's move on into Uttanasana, which is chair pose. So your feet are going to be directly under your hip bones. Not this, right under your hip bones, about 6 inches apart. Imagine you're holding a beach ball with your hands. Anytime your hands are going to rise above your head together, you're going to imagine you're holding a beach ball, okay? So chair pose, we just keep our feet, our toes pointing forward, our heels directly behind toes 2 and 3. Feel all 4 corners of the feet on the ground. And then we raise our arms up like we're holding our beach ball. And then we just imagine we're sitting back into a chair. Uttanasana. Now here, we want to make sure to pull the belly button in. You can imagine your ribs are pulling towards the center line. And then we tuck the tailbone under. No duck butt here. And then you can get a little bit lower. Good. That's chair. So let's lower our hands down to the mat. We're going to take a long step back with the left leg. Lowering the knee down, we're coming into our low lunge on Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So here's a great time to grab your blocks. So in low lunge, the right knee is going to be directly over the right ankle. And the goal of low lunge is we're stretching our hip flexor and psoas. And so you can keep your hands on your blocks here for support. If at any time this hurts your knee, feel free to do this with your yoga mat or grab a blanket, and that'll give you a little extra support. There you go. So Anjaneyasana, low lunge. We do this a lot in yoga. Again, the beach ball and the hands rise up, knitting the ribs together, crown of head rises, neck is nice and long, and draw your both hip points forward and then down. Take a deep breath in and exhale out. You'll hear this cued with low lunge often. It's when you straighten the front leg, you rock the hips back. Now left hip is over left knee. Use the blocks for support, and we're doing what we call half split. It's just a nice hamstring stretch. You're going to flex the toes back towards the top of your head, trying to keep the hips square. If you're here, that's great. You can always go into full split here if you want, but we're not doing that today. All right, from here, I'm just going to help cue us to go up into our crescent lunge, okay? So you can use your blocks if you'd like, or hands can be on the floor. It's totally your choice. And what we're going to do is we're just going to tuck the back toes under, and we're going to straighten that back leg. So your hips stay nice and square. So imagine you're pulling your right hip back a little bit and your left hip forward a little bit to keep them nice and square. Before we rise to our crescent lunge or our Ashtanga Chandrasana, I want you to pull your belly button in and up towards your collarbone, because when you control the core, it's a lot easier to move. So arms can either go this way or this way, but they're going to land with our beach ball. Drive the back heel down, nice straight leg, get low in that front knee. But maybe today you're here, and that's just great. You do whatever is good for you, okay? So you don't need to do full expression of the pose today. This is crescent lunge. Good. Well, let's take a breath here, sorry. Deep breath in. Long breath out. I like to think of my feet both pushing against the ground, and that makes me nice and stable. You can use the blocks. We're just going to step up, bring the back foot up to meet the front foot. Now let's do all of that on the other side. So take a long step back with the right leg, lower that right knee down, set yourself up for success by left knee over the left ankle. Hips are square to the front of the mat, and we rise up, drawing the hips forward. Anjaneyasana. And if I say any of the Sanskrit words wrong, just forgive me. I struggle with English pronunciation. No, I'm kidding. Okay. And sometimes people like to take a little twist here, whatever you want to do. Now let's go over that bent or that front straight leg. So shift the weight back. You're going to make sure that your hip is not jutting out to the side. Keep your hips nice and square in the center. Use your core to help you be stable. And then fold over that front leg. Think of the top of the head going towards the toes more than the nose to the knee. It's the top of the head. You want to get long in the spine. Great. Now shift back into that low lunge. And we're going to tuck our back toes under and rise up into our crescent. So back toes under, step and get a nice long lunge, 90-degree angle in the front leg. Engage the core and rise up in any way that you want to. Get nice and tall. Draw the back heel down, suck that right knee up, get low in the front. Try not to lean forward or back. It helps to think ribs rising to the sky. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Hands come down. We're going to step that back foot up to meet that front foot. And let's rise up, sun salute. Inhale up. Exhale. Notice how you feel. Great. Now let's go into the warrior series. We'll start with warrior one. I actually very rarely cue warrior one in class, and I'll tell you why. So your feet are like this right now. You're going to take a step back, and the foot is going to go straight back. So it's like you're standing on two railroad ties. You're not going to step behind, okay? Take a step back with your left leg, nice long step. And then after you step back, you're just going to take that back foot and spin it to 45 degrees. And then your hips want to go to the corner like this, but you're going to turn them to the front. This is warrior one. And then arms come up, nice tall body. Now in warrior one, you want to make sure you're really engaging that back knee. I like to think about the weight going to the pinky toe side of the foot, and then your front foot is also being very supportive, so your weight is evenly distributed. So warrior one, Virabhadrasana. Warrior two. Oh, the reason why I don't cue this very often, I personally have some hip turnout issues, and a lot of people do, especially after you've had babies. And it's not very natural to have our hips do this fight. And so I don't love this pose. I don't do very many warrior ones, but let's open to warrior two. So arms are just gonna open to the side. You're gonna turn your back heel and move it so that it's now in alignment. So your heels are on one balance beam, okay? Arms are gonna come out. Now looking at your feet, you can either, depending on your hip turnout, have the back foot slightly turned in, or it can be perpendicular to the front foot. And then you want to make sure the weight is evenly distributed. Really engage that back leg, push the ground away with the front leg. The weight's going to the pinky toe side of the back foot, and your knee is tracking between toes 2 and 3 on the front foot, okay? Maybe you don't get that deep, that's okay. We can come up a little higher, okay? I'll go with you. But the important thing is you don't sink into this hip, okay? So if you're sinking, you need more space between your legs. Draw the tailbone down, spin the inner thigh of the right leg up towards the ceiling, pull the ribs together, get long in the body, and then you imagine you're kissing a penny between your shoulder blades, and you look out over your finger number 3. Awesome. And then from here, let's do reverse warrior. So flip the front palm, let it rise up. You can do the peace sign, the peace mudra with your hands if you'd like. And then back arm is just gonna draw down. From here, I'm gonna go to Trikonasana. We straighten the front leg. That might feel really good right now. Kick this back hip to the back, and we track our arms down, and they can either land on the shin or a block. I'm gonna do a block. Raise the back arm up, and you wanna imagine that you're squeezing everything to the center line, like you're getting smushed between 2 panes of glass, and you look up to your thumb, which I cannot right now, it's really sunny. So that is Trikonasana, triangle pose. Amazing job. The last one, side angle. So from here, bend the front leg, and you just keep your arms like this. This is extended side angle. How you'd go in a normal or a traditional class, we go from warrior 2, side angle, reverse warrior, triangle, reverse triangle. And so that's a little flow that we like to do. All right, so heel toe that foot back in. Let's come up to the front of the mat, and we're gonna do all of that on the other side. I'm gonna move to this side so that I'm facing you and you're not seeing my back. I only need one. Okay, I have all the Sanskrit words written down because I have mom brain sometimes. Forget all the names. Okay, so we're gonna lead the same little flow, but this time we're doing the other leg. We're leading with the left leg. Take a nice long step back. Remember that you are stepping back and you have space between your heels, 6 inches of space. Take a nice long step back. The right foot now is going to turn to an angle, and your hips are going to track towards the front of the room or the front of the mat as you find your way into warrior 1. Beach ball between the hands, hips square, pushing the ground away. Back foot, you're going to the pinky toe side of the foot. Front knee is tracking over toes 2 and 3, right angle in the front knee. Very good. Now open to warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. And so your arms are going to open. You're going to have to move your heel to be in a line. We always pay attention to our feet first. Nice strong connection to the ground. Imagine you have roots growing out of your feet. Get the back leg nice and straight. Do a check to see where your front knee is. Tuck your hips under. Nice and tall in the upper body. Relaxed in the neck. Squeeze a penny between the shoulder blades. Awesome. From here, let's go to our side angle first. So reach forward, come down. You can move the block for support if you'd like that. Back arm is going to float skyward. Look up to your top thumb. Again, squeeze a penny between the shoulder blades. Get nice and broad in this collarbone. Try to get as long as you can in the upper body. One breath. Don't forget to breathe. Good. Rock up and back, peaceful warrior. A reverse warrior. And now let's straighten the front leg. And we're in reverse triangle, reverse trikonasana. And then we just kick the right hip to the back of the room. So this hip, the back hip's going backwards. As we reach forward with the front arm and land on our block or our shin, just not on our knee. And then on the ground, and the back arm floats up to the sky. You did it. Very good. Now heel toe your feet together. I think this is a good time for us to take a balasana, child's pose. Take a little rest. So coming down onto the knees, you let your knees go out towards the edges of the mat, big toes come together, rock the heels back. If this bothers your knees at all, you can always sit on your blocks to have a little bit more support, or a blanket. But we let the heels, the hips come back onto the heels, walk the hands forward, and let the head just come down. Into the low back space. Paying attention to the sensations of your body, showing some gratitude for what you're learning. One more. Good. Now go ahead and come up into our table position. Hands are going to be directly under our shoulders, fingers spread wide, your index finger points forward, and then the rest of the fingers just fall into place. Knees under hips, feet directly behind. And we're going to go into our cat-cow series. So Marjorie asana is our cat. So we inhale, we draw the collarbones forward, raise the, no, that's not cat, that's cow. I got them backwards. It's the Sanskrit that is throwing me off. You don't hear it very often, but it's nice to know and recognize it when you do. Okay, Marjorie asana is cat. So we exhale, we tuck chin to the chest. We find lots of rounding in the spine as we draw the tailbone down. Full exhale out. Try to look at your belly button. Inhale, we draw the chest forward, broaden the collarbone, raise the sit bones, raise chin to the sky. Let the shoulder blades glide down the back. Try a few of those. Vitalasana. Marjariasana. Two more. Find our cow. Inhale. Cat. Exhale. Great. Let's go ahead and push back into our downward dog. So from here, we just tuck our toes under, raise our knees off the ground. We get a nice straight upper body first, and then we let the heels draw down. And then let's walk the feet up towards the back of the hands. And we're going to grab our blocks and set them up the same distance apart as our feet. I'm going to show you Warrior 3. So that's Virabhadrasana 3. It's your third warrior pose. The blocks are really helpful if we're new to Warrior 3. So we're going to stand with all of the weight on our right foot. So make sure you feel that connection to the ground. Imagine you're like a light pole where you're stacking the ankle, knee, hip, shoulder all in one joint, and everything's very solid. Find your balance there. Pick up the left foot, and you're just going to straighten the left leg, keep the hips facing towards the ground, and start to lower yourself down. You can let your arms go back. Some people like to let the arms go forward and imagine they're reaching for something, or you can let the hands come down onto the blocks. But the important thing is that you keep your hips nice and square to the ground, and you just hold it there. So sometimes we're here, and this is all we got, and we're just gonna make a one long line, from our fingertips to our toe tips. That's great. Pull your tummy in, and that's going to help to control the pose. Fantastic. Let's do the other side. Didn't set my blocks up very well. Okay. So again, I'm going to start with my fingertips, reaching, square my hips up to the front of the room, and then point my back toe, pulling the belly button in and up as I lower myself down, or you can always use the blocks. And hold for a breath. And then lower it back down. Let's also do tree pose. So tree pose is very similar. We're not tilting, but the balance work starts the same. We're going to start with our right side. Get nice and stable on that right side. And then once you are stable and you feel your upper body like being pulled up, like a puppeteer is pulling you up nice and tall, then you can pick up the left knee, turn it out to the side, and place it where you want on the body. I'm just going to show you option 1, which is toes right above the ankle. You never put it on your knee, so you don't push your knee out, okay? You can put it on your inner thigh. Then just keep this glute engaged, and then the hands can go into prayer or look up, whatever you're comfortable with. Take a deep breath in, spread the toes wide. Good. Other side. We're getting nice and stable on the left side, ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, one line. Belly's pulled in, everything's pulling to the center and up, okay? Once we have that stability, we pick the knee up, out, and then find whatever you want. Deep breath in, slow exhale. Very good. I want to show you a couple laying down poses, and then we're going to turn this into a bit of a sequence. Okay, so Setu Bandhasana is bridge pose. So when you lay down, place your feet hip width apart. Probably sensing some themes here. Palms are going to be right by your hips on the ground, and you're going to use that as support as you're going to articulate up. So first things first, knees are pointing skyward. You're going to exhale out, feel the belly button pull slightly down. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, feel that belly button pull down and in towards the ground as you start to articulate your hips up towards the sky, using your hands for support, and just hold. Getting nice and high, but not raising off the shoulder blades. And then very slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, lower yourself down. Awesome. And I'll show the others when we are ending our sequence. Okay, you ready? So let's do a traditional, like a cued vinyasa flow. So we're going to start in mountain pose at the top of our mat. Palms facing forward, feet directly under the hips. Get nice and tall, suck the kneecaps up, draw the tailbone down, broaden the collarbone. This is our starting pose. Notice how you feel. Inhale, arms are up. Exhale, we're going to swan dive, wide arms, bent knees, come on down with a flat back. Using the blocks if you want to. Inhale, halfway up, or halfway lift. And exhale, come down, move the blocks out of the way, bend the knees, let the hands come down, and do our nice forward fold. Inhale, we're going to rise to chair, so let the hands float forward, and then sit back in our chair and hold for a breath, tucking the hips under. On the exhale, come out of that, and the hands are going to come to the mat. Step back to plank. You can lower your knees down if you want, and then squeeze the side body as you lower yourself down on the exhale. Inhale, rise to cobra, broaden the collarbone. Exhale, come down. Tuck the toes under. Inhale, rise up and back into our downward dog. Exhale, draw the heels down. Walk, jump, or step up to the front of your mat. And then inhale, we rise. Exhale, we forward fold, bent knees, flat back, come on down. Inhale to halfway lift, straighten the legs, straighten the back. Exhale, come down, rise into our chair. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold, jump or step back to plank. And then lower yourself down on the exhale. Inhale, rise to cobra. Exhale, come down. Tuck the toes, push up and back into our downward dog. For one good breath, hold here, inhale. Full exhale. Next inhale, walk the toes up to the back of the hands. And then we rise on the inhale. We fall on the exhale, bent knees, flat back, come on down. Inhale, rise to half lift. I'm going to do my wing arms. I love those. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, rise to chair. Exhale, come down. Jump or step back to plank. Lower yourself down on the exhale. Inhale, rise to cobra. Squeeze the arms, or squeeze the arms to the ribs. And then exhale, come down. Meet me in the downward dog with an exhale. Good. Now let's do a new sequence. You're going to pick your right foot up just as far as you want. It can be hip height. It can be all the way up. Whatever is fine. And then you're going to bend the knee, heel to the butt, look to your fingertips, and rock your body forward and let the foot come down onto the mat. So if it gets stuck here, you just help it along. But ideally, it lands up by the right thumb. Then you lower the knee down, flip the foot. We're in our low lunge. So inhale, we rise up. Exhale, we fall over that front straight leg like we learned earlier. Inhale, rise to low lunge. And then hold here. Hands come to the mat or blocks, and we're going to step up into our crescent lunge. So tuck the toes under, rise up, crescent lunge. How about we try opening the cactus arms for an arm variation? Then let the arms come back up. Using the blocks, grab your blocks. We're going to move into a warrior three. Step straight in the front leg, point the back toes to the back of the room, and hold. Now when we step back, we're going to land our foot in warrior one position. So that means it's out to a 45-degree angle. Your feet are separated. Your hips are forward. Inhale up. And exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to straighten our front leg. I didn't show you this one. This is pyramid. Sorry. Pull our right hip towards the back. And let yourself come down over your front leg. Pyramid pose. On the next inhale, bend the front knee. And let's rise up to our warrior one. And then open up on the exhale to warrior two. You might have to change your feet a bit. So front knee's bent, back leg is nice and straight, feet are perpendicular. Look out over the front hand, inhale. On the exhale, move to side angle. Inhale, we rise back up into reverse warrior. So flip the palm to the sky, keep the legs the same way they are. Right arm is going skyward, up and back, nice rib stretch. Back hand glides down. And now we're going to move on the inhale. We're going to straighten the front leg. We're going into our Trikonasana triangle pose. So straight both legs. Back arm rises up. Look up and be grateful. Inhale, reach up and back into reverse triangle. And then exhale, just come to neutral. You can actually cartwheel the arms down, bend the front knee, cartwheel the arms down. And let's go ahead and just step the back foot to meet the front foot and take our sun salute. Look up, be grateful. And then exhale, come on down. Hands come to the mat. You might have to move your blocks out of the way. Jump or step back to plank. Lower yourself down, exhale. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, come down. Meet me in downward dog. Raise the left leg up. We're going to do all that on the left leg. So raise the left leg up, hip height, all the way, whatever feels good to you, and hold, keeping shoulders square to the front of the mat. And then we're going to bend the knee, bring the heel to the butt, and bring that forward. So we were rocking forward. We're thinking thumb with our left foot. Left thumb, left foot. But get to where you need to be. Like I said, if you need to scoot it up, that's fine. Lower the back knee down. Flip the foot. Rise into our low lunge. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fall over the front leg. Straightening that front leg and hold. Inhale, rise back into a low lunge. And then exhale, the hands come down, and they can be on your blocks or they can be on the ground. Either way is fine. Straighten the back leg. Tuck the toes under. Pull the belly in and up as we rise to our crescent lunge. Inhale. Now we're looking to the, here I took a little stretch. Here we go. Cactus arms. Just feels good. Chin to sky. Arms are going down. Let them come back up. That was good. That was good. Put the blocks up about 6 inches in front of your toe, and you're going to step, straighten that leg for our warrior 3, keeping the hips parallel to the ground. Head is nice and long. Okay, now let's step back into our warrior 1. So again, separation of the feet. Right foot's at a 45-degree angle. Hips are square to the front of the room. Front leg is bent to a 90-degree, hopefully. If not, that's okay. Inhale here. Exhale, we're going to straighten the front leg and fall over our pyramid pose. So pull the left hip back, right hip forward, and fall over that. Letting the top of the head be really heavy. Feeling that stretch in the hamstring and behind the knee. Bend the knee. Inhale, we rise up. Exhale, open to our warrior 2. Looking out over the front hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach forward, come down into our side angle. Use a block if you'd like. Raising the back arm up. Look up to the thumb. Really pushing the ground away with the feet. And then let's reach up and back into our reverse warrior. Straightening the leg. We're in our reverse triangle. We're going to kick the back hip to the back of the room. Really engaging the legs as we come on down. Keeping the hips nice and stacked on each other. Reach up, rock back into our triangle. Exhale. Or sorry, our reverse triangle. Good. Cartwheel the hands down. Bring front foot up or back foot up to meet the front foot. Forward fold and hang. Inhale, rise up. And exhale. Good. Come with me down to the mat. How did that feel? Feel good? Hopefully. We're going to take a couple of my favorite stretches here to end class. We can go ahead and go into our bridge one more time. Place the feet down. Exhale, let the belly button come down. Inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, as you exhale, the belly button comes down and you raise your hips up. And then you lower it down. And take a nice little figure 4 stretch. So bring the right, this is also called a reclined pigeon. So bring the right leg over the left knee, and you want the ankle to be off the leg. Reach through. You can either grab behind the hamstring or on top of the shin. Depends on your flexibility, the length of your limbs. And just hold. Think soft. Relax. Neck is nice and long. The chin is slightly tucked. One more good breath. Other side. What did you learn about yourself today? What did you notice? Place both hands on the mat, wiggle the feet out to the side, and you're just going to drop the knees over to the right side. Do a quick check to make sure the left shoulder, hip, knee is all in a line. And if they are, put cactus arms up, lay the head down, pick up the right foot, and place it on the left knee. Feels good. On your next exhale, switch. So feet are on the edge of the mat. Knees drop to the left side. Right shoulder, right hip, right knee in one line. Left leg comes up. Rest on that knee to deepen the stretch. Every day we get a chance. Go ahead and come out of that. Every day we get a chance to just show up for ourselves, to treat ourselves well. And if we don't do it, who will? Okay, bring your feet to touch in the center and then let the knees just fall out to like a diamond pattern. Place one hand on the heart, one on the belly. Feeling that connection to you. Feeling proud of what you did there. The things you learned, the way you pushed yourself. And then let's go ahead and extend out into Shavasana. So this is also called corpse pose. So legs just extend out, feet flop open how they want. Palms are either up or down depending on if you want a mudra is what it's called, like a gesture with your hands that says, I either am ready to accept all the blessings coming my way or I need to feel more grounded and connected to the earth. Either way is good. And we just lay here and breathe. This is one of the most important parts of class, so don't skip this ever, because all of the your capillaries that you just activated are circulating through the body. All the good benefits are happening right now as you are enjoying the flow of blood that you just created, the healing power of yourself. So take a deep breath in. Exhale out the mouth, maybe even sigh out the mouth. Let's do that again. Just letting go of anything you don't want anymore. As you breathe, start to soften from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. So relax between your eyebrows, your jaw, your neck. Create some space between your shoulder blades. Let your limbs, your arms, your fingertips go limp. Feel the majestic rise and fall of the belly, so soft and powerful as you breathe. Soften the glutes, the hamstrings, unclench the knees. Let the shins be nice and soft and sink down. And then let all the tension come out of the bottom of your feet. One last deep breath in together. And full exhale out. Thank you for the energy and the effort that you brought to class today. I really appreciate you taking this time. Namaste.